Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you a brief update. This is the back end of the 1950 Ford F47 pickup truck. For American viewers, same truck as your Ford F1. So this is the regular cab short bed step side truck. We've got quite a bit of progress, so I thought we'd just share with you an update. The last time you saw this bed assembly, and the bed sides and we had it painted beige and we had it on a dolly and we were just ready to set it onto the frame. So obviously now we've set the complete unit, we've set it on the frame, and then since then there's been a lot of things that have happened. So you can see our back window and new rear seal. So we have brand new glass and brand new correct seal. It's the top of the line rubber seal and the best glass that we can get. It's obviously a safety glass. So now that's installed, and then our fenders, which the last time you saw these rear fenders, they were basically in primer and we were block sanding them at different grits. So now we have finished them with a final 400 sanding, and then we have 5 coats of the premium single stage paint, and they look quite nice. So we haven't done any polishing or wet sanding or buffing. This is straight out of the gun, and basically they're just kind of pre-hung. So what we like to do is just dry fit everything again. We dry fitted the whole truck before we painted the components. So when things were about halfway through, we set the bed on and we set the fenders on just to make sure everything aligned properly. So now that everything is painted, we do another dry fit where we basically set the fenders on. We only use a few bolts just temporarily because there's going to be a gasket, or they call it a fender welt, that goes between the fender and the bed side, and it's a material, and I think it just arrived. I can probably share with you what it's going to look like. So you buy it in a roll, and there's different versions of this. Now this is the more expensive version. This, believe it or not, is an actual leatherette or vinyl, and it has a rope core. It's a plastic core that is sewn along this seam. And then what this fender welt does is it basically gets positioned down into between the body and the fender. So what happens is we run it into here. It might be too dark and my finger's in the way, but basically that's going to go all the way around. Now there's a bunch of bolts that are going to be going through here in different locations, and it's a little bit of a tricky task because everywhere there's a bolt we need to notch this material and make basically a V to clear the hardware or the bolts that are there. But then this finishes it off quite nicely, so you can see it's a nice accent. But the main purpose is it stops from scrubbing and flexing, because when everything is bolted down, this material acts as a cushion between the fender and the body. There's also enough welt to do the front, because we'll be doing the front fenders also. So we're just dry fitting these on for now, and then this is what we'll be doing, and we'll share with you in an upcoming video what that looks like once it's installed between the bed and the fenders. Now we just completed the rear bumper, and if this truck originally did not come with a bumper. So this once again is a triple plated chrome bumper, and we bought the mounting kit, which is also triple plated chrome. So it's quite a nice kit. It was on back order for a while, and other than my little smudge marks, it's going to look quite sharp. It's quite a nice contrast. So most of these trucks, especially in 1950, very few of them came with the rear bumper, and if they did, generally speaking, they were a painted bumper or more of a commercial grade step-up kind of bumper, more used as a work truck. But obviously we're prettying this one up, so we went with the triple plated chrome with the chrome brackets, which are a nice touch. Another thing I'd like to point out, we mentioned in an earlier video we had some stainless steel hardware that we had ordered for the fenders. So you can see the bolt heads here. They're just the normal bolt heads we use just to dry fit the back fender on, but this is the actual bolt, the upgraded hardware that we're going to be using. So it's a stainless steel carriage bolt, it's a flush mount, and it's high polished. So when we get to the stage of installing the fenders for final assembly with the felt, we will be installing these highly polished stainless steel heads all the way across on both sides, which will be a nice contrast. And then you'll see this just arrived today, and this is a beautiful oak floor. It's going to be quite a bit of work because in 1950 the truck did not come with a wooden floor, it was a steel floor. So we're actually going to convert this truck. When it arrived from the other shop, it had, I'll just move over to this side. When it came from the other shop, someone just took a sheet of plywood and laid the plywood down and made it look like it was a plank floor. I don't like that look at all. It's going to be quite a bit of work because the cross rails, you've got to be able to mark and measure, and then you have to drill holes through these oak planks. And then you have numerous bolts. We've got the stainless steel hardware kit, and then there's going to be stainless rails with grooves that are going to fit between each plank of wood. So there'll be a lot of measuring and marking and drilling before we get everything kind of dry fitted in place. But once we do, then we'll remove all the hardware, we'll pull out this beautiful oak, and then we'll sand it. We have a stain already picked out that our client would like, and then we're going to use probably 7 coats of automotive clear. So it's going to be a lot of work, but it'll be definitely very rewarding when it's done. So quite a bit of work still to go, but I just wanted to share with you an update because now it's shaping like a truck. For a while there with all the bits and pieces, it was hard to imagine the contrast of how everything was going to look. But so far we're quite happy with the way it's turning out. We've got the nice rubber accents around the windows. The black fenders against the cream beige is quite a smart look in my opinion. So just a brief update. This is the 1950 Ford F47 pickup, same as our F1. And I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.